For the first time, we're hearing from the family of a young woman killed in downtown Dallas after her accused killer got out of jail. Houston realtor Ashley Long was shot dead on Main Street in downtown Dallas last month. Her accused killer, Kendrick Finch, was unsuccessful getting his bond reduced, but still managed to post the full bond anyway this week and is out. For now, Long's family is calling for changes to the bail system, something some state leaders have been pushing for as well. And Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with the Long's family and is live tonight. Peyton.
Steve, and Ashley Long's family, they know they are in for a long legal fight, but in the meantime, they are using Ashley's case as a platform for the topic of bail reform. And we spoke to them this afternoon, just days after Ashley Long's accused killer bonded out of the Dallas County Jail.
Bond reform is going to be one of those things that as a family, we're going to stay on this for years, not only for Ashley, but for anyone.
Ashley Long's family speaking for the first time since her accused killer bonded out of jail. Just last week, a Dallas County judge denied an attempt by 34-year-old Kendrick Finch's legal team to get his $500,000 bond reduced. However, Finch still posted the $500,000 bond, and he was released on Tuesday.
I feel like you shouldn't be able to murder someone and get out on bail. And as a family member, to kind of have that possibility of just seeing someone like that in public, I just don't really think is right or just.
Finch is accused of shooting and killing the 28-year-old Houston realtor as she and a group of friends were leaving a downtown Dallas bar shortly after 2 a.m. April 5th. The deadly shootout caught on surveillance along Main Street. Dallas police say a confrontation began when 36-year-old William Kistler brushed his hand on a passing white Mercedes. The Mercedes stopped almost immediately. Finch exited with a firearm. Kistler is then seen retrieving a gun out of Long's purse when Finch opened fire. Long later died at the hospital. Kistler was also shot, but survived. A homicide detective testified he believes Finch fired first. However, Finch's defense team argued self-defense.
The person who shot that bullet is walking the streets, and that's kind of the problem that we're focused in on this week.
On Friday, Dallas police charged Kistler with unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon in connection to the April 5th shooting. Kistler currently being held in Collin County Jail for unrelated charges from 2023.
We just wanted everyone to know who Ashley was, understand what happened that night, and be able to keep up with us in this legal process that we are navigating for the first time.
Ashley Long's stepsister, Jillian Kimber, created this website called justiceforashley.com. On it, an opportunity for people to write to Texas lawmakers regarding bond reform, a topic of an ongoing discussion in Austin. At a roundtable last week, Governor Greg Abbott voiced his support in changing the Texas Constitution to in part restrict bail for those accused of certain violent crimes. And according to court records, Finch does have some bond requirements. This includes an ankle monitor, a random drug test, and also not possessing a firearm. Steve? Got it.
Okay. Peyton Yeager, thank you. The founder of Gateway Church in Southlake, who resigned after child sex abuse allegations, is now in a legal fight with his church over his retirement package.
Robert Morris appeared in an Oklahoma courtroom last week for multiple charges related to incidents from the 1980s. Now the Southlake Church says Morris is asking for millions of dollars. Fox 4's Amelia Jones in Southlake with more. Amelia.
Heather, Steve, according to the court filing, Robert Morris reached out to Gateway Church with financial demands shortly after he resigned in disgrace last year. I spoke to an attorney not involved in this case who said Morris does have a claim to ask for the money because of his employee contract. However, they also shared that Gateway Church might have significant defense claims to win the case and give Morris nothing. After resigning in June 2024 as senior pastor of Gateway Church in Southlake, in light of child sex abuse allegations, Robert Morris wrote multiple letters to the church asking for his retirement payout. Court documents filed in Tarrant County Tuesday detail the dispute between the church and former pastor. According to court documents, Morris requested that Gateway pay him $1 million and full retirement in the amount of $600,000 to $800,000 per year for the rest of his life and his wife's life. Gateway refused, and Morris responded by filing a lawsuit. The church filed a motion to stop until a mediation is held, which the church says is the dispute resolution process Morris agreed to in his employee contract.
If that is part of the contract, then it is not unusual to want to require a mediation before arbitration. The judge will ultimately decide whether or not that is enforceable.
Mary Nix is an attorney not involved in the case but has followed updates on the story. She wasn't surprised to see Morris make financial demands.
I don't think it's unexpected, particularly for someone who is in his position and is facing the result of his actions and unlikely to be able to find another source of income. I'm not surprised that he's filing a claim and trying to enforce that contract.
Nick says Morris has standing to file the lawsuit because of the employee contract. She also says Gateway Church has options when it comes to a defense in the case, including the felony charges he's facing and something called offset.
In other words, how much damages has he caused to Gateway by his actions, and does that offset any money that he would ultimately be owed in a retirement?
Gateway Church sent Fox 4 a statement about the motion. It says in part, quote, his claims are false and do not reflect accountability for the impact of his actions on the community. We are filing our own response to this lawsuit, affirming our commitment to addressing these issues thoughtfully and thoroughly. Morris is expected back in court in Oklahoma in September. He is facing 5 counts of indecent acts to a child stemming from allegations from a woman who claimed that he repeatedly raped her starting when she was just 12 years old in the 1980s. We reached out to Morris's attorney for a statement, and we're still waiting to hear back. Steve, Heather, back to you.
All right, Amelia Jones in South Lake tonight. Amelia, thank you. There's a $30,000 reward being offered for information about a Van Zandt County fugitive on the run. Police say Trevor McEwen cut off his ankle monitor and slipped away the same day his capital murder trial was supposed to begin. The Coppin County Sheriff has new video of McEwen, and Fox 4's Sean Rabb has that story tonight. Sean.
Yeah, and also there are some computer-generated images of this fugitive, Trevor McEwen, that we want you to take a look at. But first, let's start with that video. You'll see him walking, talking on his cell phone just a couple of days before he disappeared.
In this video, you see him walking in front of his shop that he caught on fire, moving back and forth.
Kaufman County Sheriff Brian Beavers wants you to see the mannerisms of fugitive Trevor McEwen. It's possible that he might be hiding somewhere in East Texas, maybe. Somebody will see the video and go, hey, I saw that guy.
Yes, that's what we're hoping. We need the help from the community.
Trevor McEwen is charged with killing neighbor Aaron Martinez, accused of shooting the unarmed man multiple times in 2023. May 5th this year, the search for McEwen began. The same day his capital murder trial was supposed to start, he cut off an ankle monitor and disappeared.
We've got his last bookend photo. What we've done is this is the last picture we had on Easter that he took that we've got of him. And this is a couple years old.
The sheriff taking actual photos of Trevor McEwen, creating computer-generated images of how he might disguise his identity, growing hair, shaving his beard, going bald, and in a cap. They want you to see how he might look today. You worried about his level of potential danger?
I'm telling you, this individual's done proved to us once that he can't meet conditions of bond. We put him back in jail. He bonds back out. And now I believe he's a danger to society. And at the end of the day, we need to get justice for the Martinez family. I can't remember any capital murder person running off. Most of them can't afford to bond.
You can't stay free without 2 things. Money or help.
That's it. You got to have money and you got to have help.
You got to have cash because you can't use cards.
Right.
He might have both.
He might have both. I think he's getting some help from somebody.
That's what the sheriff is looking for. A little help from somebody.
We just need everybody's help. We'd greatly appreciate any tips, and something you might think is small might be really big for us.
So they want any tip that you might be able to give them, anything at all. They want to be able to chase it down, run the traps on it, so to speak. $30,000 reward is on the table, and on your screen you see the Kaufman County Crime Stoppers number. Steve?
All right. There it is now. It just appeared on the screen. People can pause their television and write that down. Thank you, Sean Rabb, reporting tonight. Thank you.
The family of an innocent man killed by an alleged street racer is hoping a second driver turns themselves in. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Police say Jose Medina was killed when a speeding driver swerved into his lane. She is facing several different charges, and now investigators are looking for a second driver who sped away from that crash scene. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's family this evening. Peyton, what have you learned?
Right, Steve and Heather, we've been following this investigation all week. I sat down with the Medina family this afternoon. The victim, Jose Medina, was coming home from work Sunday evening. He actually left work early to spend time with his family for Mother's Day. Meanwhile, this investigation of the Dallas Police Department is ongoing. Dallas Police, they need the public's help in identifying the driver of that second vehicle.
This picture shows 59-year-old Jose Medina surrounded by his children and grandchildren. Sunday evening, Dallas police say a woman street racing in a Ford Fusion hit Medina's pickup truck, killing him. Medina's family, including his wife, were waiting just a few miles away in Pleasant Grove to spend the last few hours of Mother's Day together.
It's weird because he always gets home at 9:30. We're always here waiting for him to get home.
But they noticed Medina's phone GPS wasn't moving near the intersection of 2nd Avenue and Elsie Faye Hagen Street.
When we got there, we saw the truck like that.
Medina's truck was flipped upside down. A blue Ford Fusion also crashed out. The impact so severe the Fusion's engine ejected into the street. Surveillance video just before 7 p.m. shows the Ford Fusion and a black Cadillac speeding down 2nd Avenue when they both lost control. The Fusion swerved into oncoming traffic, colliding with Medina's pickup. But the black Cadillac kept going. Investigators say both cars were traveling at least 60 miles per hour, the speed limit 30 miles per hour.
But how can they be on the streets like that, you know?
Wednesday afternoon, Dallas police released clear pictures of the recognizable black Cadillac. Police say it's a black 2006 Cadillac STS with a yellow pinstripe down the side of the vehicle. License plate RWF3633, clear as day. Detectives now hoping the public can help identify the suspect vehicle. Medina's family also pleading for the driver to turn themselves in.
The kind of justice that we are looking for.
It's so sad how people, they don't think of the consequences they could do to somebody. These people that were coming in that car.
And new today, Dallas police say the driver of that Ford Fusion was officially charged. Her name is 31-year-old Kadisha Jackson. We are still waiting for her mugshot to be released. Jackson faces half a dozen charges, including racing, causing serious bodily injury, and also manslaughter. 2 passengers in Jackson's Ford Fusion, they were also injured. They remain hospitalized. But again, tonight, Dallas police still looking for the driver of that black Cadillac. Steve and Heather, back to you.
All right, Peyton Yeager, thank you.
A Kennedale ISD substitute teacher is facing charges accused of showing students inappropriate material during class. Ashley Evans turned herself into the Tarrant County Jail Wednesday. The district says it received a report about the content last month, but the incident happened months earlier. Fox 4's Casey Stiegel is in Kennedale tonight with more on the story. Casey.
Yes, Steve, good evening. The Kennedale Chief of Police tells me that this is still very much an active investigation. Tonight, it is not clear whether that former substitute teacher will face any additional charges, but the district says it has been made aware of additional allegations. In the student pickup line outside Kennedale Junior High School on Thursday,
shocked, just relieved that my kid was not involved.
Parents had plenty to say about what 38-year-old Ashley Evans is accused of doing when she worked here as a substitute teacher.
I was very disappointed because Kennedale is a great school district.
According to the arrest warrant affidavit, the incident happened in January. The district says it received a report in April. Records show the school notified police April 17th, following what the principal called a campus-level investigation. That is when Kennedale police were told by multiple students Evans allegedly showed kids pornographic images on her cell phone while engaged in conversations about porn and drug use.
That's very unfortunate. You know, when things like that happen, parents need to know ASAP, because this could be more than just one.
The affidavit states Evans admitted to police she did show a female student an inappropriate photo several months back. Her teaching certificate with the Texas Education Agency remains active, but the district tells Fox 4 her access to all campuses has been revoked. Kennedale ISD also says the district fully recognizes its obligation to report these allegations to the state in the time frame required by law. Although the district says it received a report of the incident in April, some parents, though, questioning why they're just now finding out.
I wish there was more transparency of, hey, or just let us know something happened, we're looking into it, we'll keep you updated.
Ashley Evans has been charged with 2 counts of displaying harmful material to a minor. She was arrested and then released after posting bond of $50,000, $25,000 for each charge. Steve.
All right, Casey Stiegel and Kennedale. Casey, thanks.
It has been more than 20 years, and a family still has no answers about the disappearance of their loved one. Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley, but this week that family has renewed hope in the search for Sonia Moreno. Fox 4's Dion England joins us with that. Dion.
Hi there, Clarice. It is a cold case revisited. The family of the missing woman has renewed hope for answers after 2 decades of silence.
From what I know of the story, they had gotten in an argument, and several times he had threatened her before that if she left him, harm was going to be done.
Myra Alanis and her missing sister's daughter, Sandy Ronquillo, have hope that after more than 20 years, the disappearance of Sonia Moreno will be solved. Moreno, a mother of 3 children, was 32 years old when she was last seen in December 2004.
It's been hard. It's been really hard for everybody, for my parents, my siblings, my nieces who've grown without a mother. And it's time.
It was December 12, 2004. Moreno had stayed the night at her best friend's home here on Galveston Avenue on Fort Worth's south side. Earlier that night, she had an argument at a nightclub with the man she was dating. A police document indicates that friend told detectives the suspect, Jorge Mesa, called the residence to speak with Moreno, then picked up Moreno around 5 a.m. A judge later issued a warrant for Mesa's arrest for kidnapping. Moreno's daughter, Sandy Ronquillo, was 8 years old at the time.
She did everything in her power to make sure we were happy and safe and protected, very loving.
In March of 2005, Moreno's vehicle was discovered in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. Soon afterward, the case went cold. But now, after a meeting earlier this week with a Fort Worth police detective, Alanis says there will be a renewed effort to determine what happened to Sonia Moreno.
He gave us his word that he would put all his time and effort into this case and looking at everything with a new, fresh set of eyes, and that's all we're asking for.
Their family has a clear goal.
To find her. To find her. My parents are elderly now, and we want to give them answers. We want them to know where their daughter is.
In 2005, Moreno's parents submitted DNA samples that have long been part of a state database that helps match unidentified victims with families, but thus far there have not been any hits. Anyone with information about what happened to Sonia Moreno should contact Fort Worth Police right away. It's the very latest live. Clarice, back to you.
Dion, hopefully there will finally be some answers. Thank you.
Fort Worth grandmother is injured after someone shoots several times into her home. It happened early this morning near Alta Mesa Boulevard and McCart Avenue. Fox 4's Casey Stiegel's in Fort Worth tonight with more on what happened and the investigation. Casey?
Yeah, Steve, good evening. I spoke with the victim's grandson off camera earlier today. He tells me the family does not want to be identified because the shooter is still on the loose. Fort Worth police are also withholding the victim's name. Gunfire echoing through a South Fort Worth neighborhood in the wee morning hours Friday.
We heard about 20 shots, and we thought it was behind our house. So I called my other neighbor, and I was like, man, you all right? You good? He was like, yeah, I'm good.
The same, however, could not be said for the woman who lives just across the street from Mario Coleman. Fort Worth police say she was shot multiple times inside her home on Shasta Trail by an unknown shooter around 2:10 a.m.
I'm outraged. That lady, she's sweet. She ain't did nothing to nobody. She's been a good neighbor to me.
The victim remains hospitalized and is expected to survive. According to her grandson, they were both asleep when somebody shot through their side window. Friday afternoon, we could see broken glass and holes where he told us it happened. Neighbors, meantime, still trying to process it all.
It's one of those neighborhoods where we don't have any issues. Yeah, so right now for that to happen, it's like everybody's on high alert.
The Fort Worth Police Department telling us that the gang unit will in fact handle the investigation from here. Detectives from the Gun Violence Division are also on the case. Steve?
All right, Casey Stiegel in Fort Worth tonight. Casey, thank you.
Ferris police arrested 4 young people, including 2 juveniles, for a deadly shooting at a park in Ferris.
A fight turned into a shootout Saturday night. 17-year-old Sir Robert Dixon was killed. His twin brother, now arrested, accused of picking up a gun and firing after his brother was shot. 2 more people arrested today, but city officials say more charges and arrests are likely. Fox 4's David Santandri is in Ferris tonight with more. David.
Yeah, that was some news coming out today. 2 twin 17-year-old brothers who were involved. Now their family is having to bury one of them who was shot and killed, and the other one is facing prison time for allegedly shooting toward a group of people at the park. Surveillance video shows a fight at a park in Ferris Saturday afternoon. At least 10, mostly young people, involved. 26 seconds into the fight, we see 17-year-old Sir Robert Wesley Dixon appearing to point a gun. Fox 4 choosing to freeze video. The moment, City of Ferris officials say a juvenile shot and killed Dixon. That juvenile is charged with murder. Officials say Dixon's twin brother, Mr. Dixon, picked up the gun and shot toward his brother's killer, but struck and wounded a different juvenile. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
We look at this park, we see this park from our window every day.
Brittany Collier's home backs up to the park. Her family gave Fox 4 the surveillance footage of the shooting, footage which rattles her to her core.
And actually seeing it transpire in my backyard is kind of traumatizing, honestly. It still got me like shaking up a bit. Yeah. It was pretty scary.
What we seem to be learning through the investigation is the altercation is about young people acting impulsively and not taking a minute to really understand the consequences of the decisions that they make.
Ferris City Manager Brooks Williams says a juvenile female is also charged for allegedly giving Sir Dixon the gun he flashed. And Juliana Jasleen Pargas is charged with tampering with evidence. More charges expected. The city asking for witnesses and those in the know to come forward.
Because the more we have, the better we can piece this together and try to bring some amount of understanding into the why behind this occurring.
Gun violence is not the answer, guys. Gun violence is never the answer. It's so many other routes we can take.
Collier and her family recently moved from Dallas to Ferris, a city with a population under 5,000 people, in part because she thought it would be quieter. Her family preparing for a child's birthday party in their backyard when the senseless shooting took over the neighborhood.
It turned into a crime scene.
Tonight, a few dozen community members gathered outside the Ferris Department of Public Safety building to listen to a Stop the Violence message. It was attended by some adults, high school students, and even kids of a very young age. It was led by a man named Dante King, who says he served prison time but has since turned his life around. He lives here in Ferris. He says this is his community that he cares about. So that finished up just about 20-30 minutes ago. Do want to point out that talking with the city manager, he says there are warrants that they have gotten written right now, so there are some people who we could see arrested here tonight, maybe tomorrow, more names added to this list. Steve, Heather, back to y'all.
All right, David, thank you.
We are hearing from a mother whose daughter died after a motorcyclist lost control and crashed into a crowd of people in a parking lot. It happened in Oak Cliff last week. The motorcyclist was also killed. Another child is still in the hospital. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is live tonight after speaking with the family who is now planning for a funeral for their little girl. Peyton.
Clarice, this horrific crash took place outside of where a baby shower was taking place a Saturday evening. Today, a long and tough day for the little girl's family. They planned her funeral and then spoke with us right after. Take a listen.
She's mommy's girl. My boys will want to stay at Nana and Papa house, but Soraya want to come home. She want to be by mom.
Tiffany Washington talking about her 8-year-old daughter, Soraya Parson.
Outside of being heartbroken, I feel grateful for my village.
Saturday evening, Washington was catering a baby shower at a venue off Lancaster Road. She says she went inside to check on the food, and then her world changed in a flash.
Then I heard a noise, and the ladies that were inside said, oh my God, the kids.
6 p.m. Saturday, Dallas police were called out to the scene. Investigators learned a motorcyclist had lost control of his bike and crashed into children.
She was the perfect little girl to me.
Washington tells Fox 4, Soraya, her 2-year-old son, and other children were standing on the sidewalk at the front door. Scene video shows the motorcycle lying on the sidewalk before it was towed away. Soraya was pronounced dead shortly after the crash. The motorcyclist also died, identified by the Dallas County Medical Examiner as 33-year-old Kevin Wagner. Another child was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Innocent girl.
Back at Soraya's home, her room sits empty. The second grader strove for excellence, a straight-A student and an athlete. Just last week at Cedar Hills Trinity Leadership, Soraya won first place at her track meet. Most of all, Washington will miss that undeniable bond the two shared.
If she let you in, she'll love you with her whole heart. And if you get a chance to get that, it's a special thing.
And the child who survived remains in the hospital this evening with multiple broken bones. And what exactly led up to the motorcyclist losing control, that is still under investigation by Dallas police. Clarice?
Peyton, thank you.
Family in North Texas is relieved their loved one is no longer facing criminal charges in Thailand, but they say he still cannot get out of the country. American scholar Paul Chambers was arrested last month accused of insulting the Thai monarchy. U.S. officials were alarmed by the arrest. The family says the charges have been dropped, but the journey to get him back home is not over. Fox 4's David Santendry has the story.
He's an American. He's distinguished.
Paul Chambers, a U.S. political science professor teaching at a university in Thailand.
He's lived there for over 30 years. He just loves the culture, loves the people.
Was facing prison time for allegations of insulting the monarchy.
It's got a very severe penalty, 15 years.
Allegations Chambers denied. In April, Chambers turned himself in. He was twice denied bail. At the time, his brother, Kit Chambers, who calls North Texas home, spoke with Fox 4.
He's never insulted insulted the monarchy.
After our story aired, Chambers was granted bail, mandated to wear an ankle monitor. Then, on May 1st, prosecutors in Thailand dropped those charges. Still, there's an issue.
He just wants to come home.
Chambers' family claims Thailand's government is refusing to allow him to leave to the United States.
The Thai officials are not allowing him to leave. The immigration office still has his passport, still has his visa. They're just not budging.
Since 2020, opponents of Thailand's speech laws have become more vocal. Critics of Thailand's speech laws consider its enforcement among the harshest anywhere. Thailand's military plays a major role in the country's politics.
We believe somebody in the military has a beef against him.
Paul Chambers, a go-to expert in Thailand related to U.S. policy. The comments Chambers was accused of making refer to a restructuring of Thailand's military. But Chambers' family says the words did not come from him. Rather, a think tank in Singapore that streamed a webinar Chambers was a speaker at.
The longer this goes on, the more worried he is.
Now, with charges dropped.
My biggest fear right now is that the longer this goes on, the greater the chance of someone probably in the military trying to fabricate new charges to try to keep him there, possibly send him back to prison.
His family pleading for a safe return to the U.S. Reporting, David Centendry, Fox 4 News.
Dallas Police Chief Daniel Como faced Dallas City Council members today for the very first time as the chief in the Public Safety Committee meeting.
So he comes as the city is seeing a significant drop in overall violent crime. Fox 4's Lori Brown joining us now live from Dallas with the story. Lori.
Heather, the city of Dallas has already seen violent crime drop for 3 years in a row, and this year is on the same track again so far with a 14% drop compared with last year at this same time.
As of April 30th, 2025, we had 409 fewer victims of violent crime in the Dallas area from the previous year. That's an amazing number.
In the first 4 months of this year, the Dallas Police Department saw the biggest drops in crime and murders with 21 fewer victims and aggravated assaults with 224 fewer victims.
The reduction is due to the hard work of the men and women of the Dallas Police Department.
But Dallas City Council members illustrated that there is still room for growth. Mayor Pro Tem Tanel Atkins said an apartment complex in his district on Bonnie View is riddled with problems.
We have lost 2 lives over there in the last year, the last 6 months.
Atkins says the city has been trying to get access to cameras on the property for monitoring, but a revolving door of property owners keeps pushing the timeline.
I'm getting frustrated, and the community getting frustrated.
Atkins says there is no time to lose.
Right now, it's really out of control.
Public Safety Committee Vice Chair Kathy Stewart says her district also has recently seen an uptick in violent crime.
A reality check for me is that there were, I think, 3 shootings in D10 over in the last 48 hours, one of which there was a murder involved, family violence. I know that making this progress is extraordinarily important and headed in the right direction. But I also know it's May, and we're heading into that summertime where violent crime just increases for whatever reason.
When it comes to recruiting new officers, Chief Como says that the city is making progress with pay that is competitive when compared to other departments, and the city is also doubling the marketing budget to $500,000. Heather.
All right, Lori, thanks for your coverage.
Lori, I do have a quick question. Did downtown come up? Downtown, it seems like I don't know if it's a perception or not, but there's been a lot of violent crime in downtown. Was that discussed?
The city council member representing downtown did not bring that issue up today, but that could perhaps come up in future discussions.
Okay, Lori, thanks.